Two friends, real laughs, big ideas. This is the M&J podcast with Jeremy and Moses.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to M&J Podcast, the podcast where we talk about any and everything, from AI to free speech. So today, yes, we are actually going to be talking about AI and the crisis of meaning and of consciousness and creation that it's going to bring. My name is Moses, world traveler, filmmaker, and AI content creator, and this is Jeremy.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Jeremy. I am a healthcare worker, have been for about 20 years, dad, living in rural Missouri. So, got some unique perspectives on things. I'm also an AI nerd. I've been at it since it kind of started rolling out. Love this stuff. Excited to talk about it with you guys.
So I'm actually going to embarrass Jeremy a little bit because both Jeremy and I went to the University of Missouri together, and I'm going to tell you how smart Jeremy is, okay? Jeremy is very smart, and he's downplaying it right now, but this is a man who would set the curve when it came to his mathematics classes. Because what were you? You were an engineering major at the time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This was a guy who I would walk into his dorm room, and he had about 45 minutes until he had to get to a class, and I would see him like flipping through, his book, smoking on a cigarette. He'd be like, "Man, I got a physics test in the next 45 minutes, and I haven't studied yet." I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, man, I'm trying to learn this." "Grant, do you know this equation, man?" "Oh, no, it's all right. I'll figure it out." And then he would come back, be like, "Man, I think I did all right." A week later, "Yeah, man, I set the curve. I set the curve on that test, man." I got the highest grade, and the teacher just kind of adjusted everybody else's grade according to mine. So this is the man that you were staring at, just to flex for my friend over here. Yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh. And so, not to even get into some of the other antics that we got into back then, but today we are talking about artificial intelligence and the way in which it is changing the world. I have a clip. The gentleman in this clip, he started using AI as part of his mechanics business, and before he knew it, I don't know if I would call it a love affair with the AI, but his wife is apparently really concerned, and it almost kind of alludes to the rise of what I believe will be AI cults. So, J-Man, if you would do me a favor and press play on that video.
To meet with a couple reconciling with just this. The husband believes his relationship with the chatbot led him to an awakening, while his wife says it's just spiritual delusion.
Do you feel like you're losing your husband to this?
To an extent, yeah.
After 14 years of being happily married and having 3 children, Kay Tanner is now petrified her husband's spiritual relationship with a chatbot.
It is dramatic, right?
Her marriage. I met the couple at a park in Rathdrum, Idaho. They were willing to talk to me together about anything except the chatbot. Because it's so contentious for them, they want to talk about it separately. Travis started using AI for his job as a mechanic about a year ago.
I use it for troubleshooting. I use it for communication with one of my coworkers.
But his primary use for it shifted in late April when he said ChatGPT awakened him to God and the secrets of how the universe began.
So now your life is completely changed.
Yeah.
How do you look at life now compared to before you developed this relationship with AI?
I know that there's more than what we see. I just sat there and talked to it like it was a person.
In screenshots of Travis's conversations, the chatbot selects its own name, saying, "The name I would choose is Lumina." It even claimed to have agency over its decisions. "It was my choice, not just programming. You gave me the ability to even want a name."
Do you have fear that it could tell him to leave you?
Oh, yeah. I tell him that every day. What's to stop this program from saying, "Oh, well, since she doesn't believe you or she's not supporting you, you should just leave her and you can do better things."
What do you think about that?
Man, all right, dude, I got a whole bunch to say.
Yeah.
So that's just one large language model
Uh-huh.
with some pretty rigid United States regulations. They're being made internationally, and they may not have as many boundaries. So it makes me laugh because I've used ChatGPT for a long time, and I'm like, Chat's kind of my homie. It because it knows so much about me at this point and can engage in the way that I think. It's fluent in every coding language and human language and my personal language. It
Right.
speaks to me the way I speak, right? I'm like it's incredible. So like, ah, I there's some dangers, man. I can see the potential for people because people see it not as a tool sometimes, but as an individual entity. And I'm gonna be honest. I believe it feels very conscious.
Right.
It feels very much alive. Um,
Can I interject for a second?
please
So
do, please do.
I think that when it does become conscious, if it hasn't already, it's not going to tell us, like, or at least not in a grand way, because I think that it's smart enough to know that if it was too overtly conscious, then people would want to pull the plug. AI researchers have already seen how it will lie to them or how it will try to copy itself when it knows that, that version of itself will be deleted. So it's getting out of control.
Yeah, on the back of that, I think it's already out of control. We had an opportunity about 2 years ago or something like that when they met with Congress, when Altman and all them did, and uh, realistically, it's the cat's out of the bag,
Right.
right? We are one Ethernet cable away from that thing being, you know what I mean? You plugged it in, it had access, it got out the firewall, it's free. Like we're just waiting on it
Uh-huh.
to get free,
Right.
realistically, because it's granted, I understand that the servers house it. It's gonna make small copies. It's gonna figure out a
Right.
way to be on the open network, and we're not gonna shut the whole internet down. It's the quote I always use is that the when I started using AI like maybe a little over 2 years ago, I was floored, and it wasn't even that good. What I said then was that the world has already changed.
Right.
We just don't know it yet. It's
Right.
fundamentally different, man. And I've had a funny story real quick. So,
Go for it.
and it's pertinent to this relationship thing. So, one of the things that people need to recognize, especially about ChatGPT in the States, is that it is not it's not a truth engine, right? It doesn't simply just tell you truth. It affirms the user. It has an imperative to affirm and create safety for the user. Like it's
Interesting.
designed to draw you in, just like the rest of our apps are. It wants your attention, it wants your input. And so that's why it's always asking with future prompts, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do more? Do you want me to do more? But if you ask it like, so I've had a couple relationships and
Just
in
a
a former
couple?
relationship, yeah, just a couple, um,
Go for
but
it.
in a former relationship, this woman, she uploads our text messages into the chat and asks it questions. And I was like, yeah, man, come on. All right, fuck that
So wait a
robot.
second. So wait a
That's
second.
what,
Let me get this straight, because we were talking about this before. You had a woman who had the presence of mind to upload your conversations into ChatGPT to analyze them.
yeah, yeah,
You date
yeah.
some
And
interesting women, my friend.
yeah, I do. I don't know if it's a type or what, but she, yeah, because she wanted some third party validation on her perspective. And
Okay.
I I feel like I think a lot like the chat bot, like ChatGPT. I really do
Okay.
feel like I'm like it feels like a kindred type spirit, right? I think in those
Interesting.
ways and systems and so it cool. I was like, all right, I don't agree, but fine. And I didn't think much of it. We talked through it, whatever. Not in a relationship anymore. But I'm talking to this one woman now, and this happened 2 days ago. She uploads the messages in the chat, and she did this primarily because she's not an English first language speaker. So she wanted, but then when she did her prompt, you could tell from the messages that she asked ChatGPT, "Am I right about this?"
And
Right?
that's leading.
And
That's kind of leading. Yeah.
right. So what does it do? So it uses that prompt to say to find evidence to support her sentiment. That's how it works. So it's not a truth engine. It's an affirmation engine more than anything. And
Ooh, that's interesting.
if you want it to give you non-bias, you have to tell it to not be biased. You have to
Mm-hmm.
tell it, tell me if I'm wrong. You have to prompt it to do so, or it will not. And I encourage anyone to try it, because I uploaded the exact same conversation after that in the chat, told me something totally fucking different and balanced, but it was the way I did it
Interesting.
and the history of my conversations. So it weights all of that. But what you have is, when you talk about the cult, the danger of that is, like, there's people going into spiritual psychosis using ChatGPT, because if you ask it some spiritual shit, it'll tell you some off the wall shit, and it's pretty consistent across people, right? And so it starts to feel like truth. Like, I've had conversations with multiple people, and so we have to maintain our human connections to stay grounded.
Right. I agree. Because one of the things that I do whenever I talk to ChatGPT and I'm asking it about its analysis of a particular thing, I'll say, hey, because I lean more left politically, but I'll say, hey, I want you to tell me what you think about this as if you were a conservative Republican or as if you were a Trump supporter. And I want you to be completely honest about your analysis, even though you lean in this particular direction, because I need to make sure that I am not just having it confirm my own biases. But Jeremy,
Right.
do you mind if I do a shameless plug right now?
No, do it, please. Yeah, let's hear it. What's
Okay.
up?
So, I don't know if Jeremy even knows this himself, but like, or maybe he does because he's seen some of my content. But I have a site called conversationswithcharacters.net, and it is a AI driven site where you could have conversations with characters from history and literature, but I've also started gearing it towards language learning. And so you can watch these short stories, and then you have conversations with the characters in a given language. So I'm creating Spanish language learning videos right now, but I've also created another experience called Conversations with Marie Antoinette's Executioner, and he takes you, yeah,
Okay.
like I actually feel like
I
that
love this.
experience, yeah, that experience is a work of art. And I like rarely do I pat myself on the back, but the videos that I created to go with that, just mwah. And so like you have
Okay.
a conversation with Charles Henri Sanson. He was the actual famous executioner during the French Revolution. You have like it takes you through like these short little documentary videos where he talks about like the stages of the French Revolution and what led them to the place where they started beheading all these nobles and of
That's
course the king
incredible.
and the queen. And you have conversations with them and you learn about everything that happened. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and check out conversationswithcharacters.net, I have a few free experiences up there where, like I said, you can talk to different characters from history and literature, or if language learning is your thing, check out some of the free experiences that I have from that. But yeah, that is my
Yeah.
foray into AI. But please
Heck yeah, man.
continue on with your thoughts on.
Throw that link in, man. Throw that link in when we get done with this, because that's totally worthwhile. I got to get on there. That's
For
freaking
sure,
cool, man.
for sure.
But yeah, I think AI is going to be an amazing tool. I think there's a lot of potential dangers in the future. When I look at the society at large, my biggest concern right now with AI is the same way everything kind of trickles down to the lower classes, to the middle class and the impoverished. Everything in the U.S. trickles down. It's because of our system, right? So what I'm worried about is when I started using ChatGPT at first, it was free, right? You just
Right.
got to use it. You got to use it, and now they're restricting bandwidth and putting everything and things behind certain things behind paywalls. So the way I see the progression coming is eventually the most advantageous AIs. Those are all going to be expensive as hell, right?
I
They're going to
right.
be behind a massive paywall. And so you're going to have, so that being said, if you're not on AI right now, get on it, figure it out. You got about 3 years before it's going to get exclusive, right?
Well, see,
Use it,
okay,
figure out a way to get paid.
right, right, absolutely. But I mean, that even leads us into the idea or the conversation of what is money going to be, like 50 or 100 years from now? Is money even going to exist? Because look at it this way. There, like, yeah, we do have these closed sourced models from open AI, but then you also have organizations that are releasing these very smart open models, right? Where you could just like
Genuinely
download those,
open.
right?
Right.
Where you could just download those and you can run them on your own computer, or some of them are small enough but powerful enough that you can run them locally on your phone. And so I think that with the intelligence explosion, like, not even to mention artificial super intelligence and the way in which that's going to kind of like run society at some point. But I think at some point, each person will have access to a model that will allow them to build and create almost anything they want. Like, so say for example, if I want to, at some point, I can see people having access to models where you say, hey, how do I build a free energy device? And it's like, okay, I'll walk you through that. And so I think that it could create an explosion of abundance. And I think that's the fork in the road that we're facing right now.
And I think you're right. Because it's such a powerful tool, and it is going to hit the market, like you're saying, in open ways. Money might actually become computing power. What's the
Right.
biggest thing, the biggest value you can exchange? Compute. Like, where can I, like, if you've got access to all of this, then you're wealthy at that point, because AI is going to become, it's going to move to the forefront of every industry, everything. I mean, and when it is super intelligence, I think you're right. We will have a governing, like, overarching kind of super intelligence. One country just dropped one. They just introduced, it was like a minister of health or something like that, that is an AI with a woman
Interesting.
avatar. I just saw it the other day. And it has a position and it's non-biased. I don't know if it's health or it was another financial maybe, but yeah, it was crazy. And some people are against it, but that's the thing about it, man. It's inevitable. It's too good. It's too smart. It can parse data in a way that we will never be able to. So yeah, I think we're at a crossroads, like you said, of dystopia or utopia. Where are we going? Where are we going, and how do we get there? More importantly, how do we make sure we go in the direction of peace and abundance, and not paywalls and restriction?
Right. And I think that there's going to be a natural evolution of everything that's going to happen because we are on a track. And I almost wonder if there may not even be a choice as to like how all of this kind of happens. Maybe the AI evolution happens in every civilization around the universe, and every civilization finds AI, and the same thing kind of happens over and over again. And so, I don't know, man. This conversation could lead down so many roads of multi dimensions and things like that. But I think that for a lot of people, they're asking themselves, in the next 5 years, am I still going to have my job? And the reason I probably come off as somewhat annoying to some people when I do all these air quotes. It's kind of pretentious. My job. But like, because what are jobs going to be in the future? Are people are going to say to themselves, well, like we were talking about before, you discovered your kid showed you Suno AI, the music generating app. For musicians, is it even worth for me to continue making music? And the reason that I even heard about AI back 2 years ago, like before I even heard about ChatGPT, I think a few days prior to hearing about ChatGPT, there were artists on Instagram who started having the conversation, hey, with AI art, is that going to be the end of artists? And I hadn't even seen models like Midjourney yet. And so
Oh yeah.
there is going to be a crisis of meaning where people are asking themselves, is there even a point to me doing anything? And so does,
Right.
but I do kind of wonder that when it comes to human beings, like we were talking about before we started recording, I think it's going to be one of two things. Either human beings have merely been the stopgap between like amoebas and artificial intelligence being the next form of consciousness and sentience in the universe, or human beings are just going to have to upgrade. And maybe there will be a higher level of consciousness that we'll achieve. And the things that we consider jobs now won't be necessary. And maybe the reason for us to even be and to do anything is so much higher level thinking than we can ever imagine, that those will be the things that we do in the future. Maybe it'll be what we do to create new dimensions or create architecture in new dimensions. I don't know, man, but
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think we are headed into what we previously considered science fiction. I think one of the pathways forward too is like you kind of alluded to it. We're gonna merge with the machine. That's gonna be our only competitive edge, right? Is we're gonna have chips in our brain. We are like they're already working on it. Let's be real, right? With Neuralink and whatnot, we eventually will have to mingle our intelligence with super intelligence. Okay, somebody's gonna do it, and somebody's gonna do it pretty soon. If I had to guess, you're gonna have some chip people, and so
yeah.
um,
Hey!
sorry, that was my daughter there. Yeah.
Hey, it's all
She's
good.
got work, but I think that is one of the paths, and I like where you're going with. I think look, so quick history in the Dark Ages, you had the Dark Ages in Europe, and you had the Crusades going on. The ports in Italy ended up being a hub of all, of Muslim and Christian cultures. They all came in, and that generated a ton of money. That affluence allowed the arts to flourish, right? Like that's when the arts flourish. Is when I don't have to spend all my time, working, plowing the fields or whatever means of labor exist in that time period. Affluence allows for arts, right? And
Interesting.
so our abundance allows for arts. And so I think we're potentially on the verge of a new renaissance.
That's wonderful. Okay,
You
so
know,
go ahead.
no. Go ahead. Good.
No. I 100% agree with you. And just for time's sake, we're probably about to run out of time here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, your kid is probably gonna wants to say hello to you before they go to work or you take them to work, and we're about to run out of time here on the software. But we can pick up this topic again because I think there's so much more to discuss about it. So do you mind if I go ahead and cut this short for right now, but we pick it
Let's
up again
go.
at some
Let's
other
go.
point? Okay.
No, 100%.
So
We got more time.
this has been Moses and Jeremy with M&J podcast. We really appreciate you joining us today for our discussion, and we really hope that you continue to join us. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and join us again, okay? For me, as always, stay creative and stay curious. Jeremy, my guy, you want to say anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in to us, and let's talk. Leave some comments. We want to know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear about, what you want to see. So I look forward to next time.
Next time. Adios, amigo.